Alex Villanueva is the Donald Trump of LA County. Instead of reducing crime, he's eroded public trust, used fear to consolidate power, and tried to rehire ex-deputies that committed domestic violence or excessive force, and who make us good cops look bad. I'm Chief Cecil Rambo, and I'm running to clean up the Sheriff's Department. This time, for good.
LAX Police Chief Cecil Rambo there, one of several challengers seeking the job of Sheriff of LA County, saying the time for reform and new leadership is right now.
Joining us now is the Sheriff, Alex Villanueva. So what is your response to Chief Rambo's ad and his campaign, bigger picture?
I think there's candidates like that. They're going to kind of hope that the voters have selective amnesia. They're going to ignore what an executive, in fact, the number 3 person under Baca and Tanaka, who was underneath Tanaka, that individual himself. And the role that he played, I'd call him an unindicted co-conspirator. And the fact that he was the first to rush to the feds to say, oh, or to testify or whatever he did, where was that person when all of the scandals, all the corruption, all the excessive force was going on under the jails? Under his watch. Under his watch, 26,779 inmates were deported via ICE. Under his watch, $25.3 million was taken from the federal government as the undocumented database of inmates was sold to ICE. So that does not sound like reform to me. That sounds like a tried and true corruption, a sad chapter in the department's history that we're best left behind. I look forward to having an honest, ethical debate with people that are credible candidates, but I haven't seen one yet.
Well, it sounds like you're running for re-election. Is there any chance that you don't run for re-election as sheriff and instead run for LA mayor?
I keep getting hit up with that, and I find the job intriguing, just like I find the job of governor intriguing, but I think I'll best leave that to the politicians. My heart and soul rests in public safety and keeping the community safe. And it's the purest elected office left, I think, in the land, because once you get into those type of executive positions, be it governor or mayor, it gets a lot more complicated. There's a lot more special interest in play. I think the sheriff's race is the last pure one where you can do your job exactly the way you advertise it, which I have done. Everything that I campaigned on, I have followed through and executed on. And that's what I'm going to continue doing. We have a lot of reforms we're going to unveil on September 22nd. We've been very, very busy. While people are throwing rocks at us, we've just been ignoring it, working very hard to reform a very complex operation and doing it in a legal way that's going to withstand the test of time.
So that's a no?
I knew Alex was going to say that.
Is that a no? Are you not running for mayor?
Not running for mayor, no.
Okay, there you go. Someone who you butt heads with openly, publicly is DA, LA County DA George Gascon. Last time that you were on this show, I believe, was in April, if I'm not mistaken. At that point, you hadn't had any conversations with the district attorney himself. Have you since then?
Nope, none at all. Very telling. He seems very intent on prosecuting cops, which we definitely need to do. If they cross the line, they engage in criminal conduct, by all means. But if he's going to do that but not prosecute the actual crooks that are harming the community, I have 5,932 cases his first 6 months in office that he refused to prosecute that were prosecutable. So the question is, how is that making the community any safer? It's not. So I'm not buying his data and science argument.
Phil?
Sheriff, I got one quick question and then a longer one. Would you say, are you vaccinated, to go back to an earlier topic?
I am vaccinated, and I completely support vaccination. That's my personal choice. My entire family is vaccinated, and the science is there. You're 17 times more likely to die of COVID unvaccinated than you are vaccinated. Everyone roll the dice, but those numbers tell me.
Not a day goes by when you're not in the news. Now, partly that's because we call you and we appreciate you coming on. But it seems like you've made it part of your political strategy to be very high profile, whether it's on social media, whether it's on news, TV, on the radio. much more so than, say, Chief Michael Moore of the LAPD. Now, granted, that's an appointed position, not elected, but why is that? Why do you speak out so much, and why do you feel that's so important?
Well, one thing is my commitment to transparency. I think that's fundamental to the job of sheriff. You have to be transparent. You have to be accessible to the community, to the press as well, and not shy away from the tough questions. And unlike the Board of Supervisors, they hide behind their position and all these multiple layers of plexiglass and Lord knows what they do. I'm going to be accessible, and I'm going to address the hard questions. The ones that I can't answer, I'll tell you legally, hey, we can't go there because there's a legal requirement that I can't. But everything else is fair game, and that's important that we have an informed electorate so they can make their decision whether or not they deserve to stay in the job or they want someone else.
Biggest misconception about you, and that's all we have time for, unfortunately.
Oh, biggest misconception is somehow I'm not a reformer. I've moved the reform needle so far that people are complaining that we're going too fast. Yet, the board and all these advocacy groups, the ones that scream the loudest, have no idea when they say that I'm against reform.
Let me try to sneak in one more question. If there's an eviction moratorium, if that goes away, are your deputies going to help in the eviction process?
Our deputies that work for the court, they are agents of the court. They don't have a say in the matter of that. That is part of the justice system, the legal system here in LA County. The deputies act as bailiffs. Our civil management bureau, our levy crew, they have to enforce the orders of the court.
Yeah.
And the issue is going to be between the court and then obviously the plaintiffs.
Got it. All right, Sheriff Villanueva, great to see you. Thank you.
Thank you, Sheriff.
We'll be right
Good to
back.
see you.